Can you remember when you first heard of Starfield? It feels like it's been half a lifetime that we've been waiting for this game, and with some people predicting another delay come 2023, I'd be okay with it because Starfield needs to be good. Title after title in recent years has been sent to the video game graveyard, and with the golden child of gaming joining them, Xbox needs a flagship title, something to point to say, this is why you need to buy our console. While the OG Xbox and the 360 had Gears of War, Fable, the Halo trilogies, Knights of the Old Republic, Left 4 Dead, Morrowind, hell, Saints Row 1, can you name a game for the Xbox One or series that is on that level? The only one that comes to mind, and the reason why me and so many other gamers bought an Xbox is
Starfield.
Hi, I'm Grim Hollywood, 3,000-year-old immortal actor, and this is my friend Todd Howard, and he's about to give you the same pitch you've heard a million times. Take it away, Todd.
Where you get to be who you want and go where you want.
Remind you of anything?
Basically, you'll be able to play the character you want.
Like, almost anything's possible.
This idea of let's go to a new place, let's go to Mars.
You know, for us, freedom is a big component for us. The ability for you to play and experience this game the way you want to play it.
And you're going to be able to do almost anything you can imagine.
Here's the truth of the matter. The first word that we wrote on the wall when we were designing this game was the word freedom.
But I actually think my fellow leather jacket friend right here might be right this time and have made a banger. See, these days us gamers are cautious about any new games, and rightfully so. So we're going to take a look at Starfield's marketing and discuss its worst case scenarios on launch. Will its 1,000 planets and 250,000 lines of dialogue add up to a good game? That was a math pun, Todd. Where's your jacket, Todd? Where's your cool jacket?
By now, I feel like we have enough released footage of Starfield to get a good feeling of what it is using what's been given to us so far. But all this space video gameplay that I've been showing you hasn't been Starfield.
What?
It's been Elite Dangerous, EVE Online, Outriders, and the film Interstellar.
Why? I just wanted to show you how easy it is to market these games. If I can whip something up like that, then you know that they can do a whole lot better at activating our imaginations with images. So my apologies at that strange swerve, but we're going to get into the real Starfield right now, I promise. Starting with the features that have been shown to us thus far. And despite my attempts at playing devil's advocate, I'm still hyped for this game, and that's without projecting much. We're also going to talk about its worst case scenarios on launch, which I think is a very interesting topic, starting with some obvious issues seen in the gameplay trailer this past summer.
The gameplay trailer felt graphically janky during parts. Beyond being encoded at 30 FPS and still struggling to maintain that, certain things like the dust from the ship looked bad, and the shadows outdoors grainy. I'm no graphics snob, but with no anti-aliasing as observed from Digital Foundry, parts felt jagged, and with the combat, some say that they got motion sickness from it. That said, I'm sure that will improve, and many theorize that is the reason it got delayed. The shadows indoors, though, they look fantastic. The long-distance rendering has come a long ways, being able to see details much further than past Bethesda titles. Some people also aren't liking the flat and washed out colors, but I don't know, man, I'm kind of digging them. It has this like late 1970s vibe, definitely has its own unique thumbprint.
I don't need another No Man's Sky. I mean, look how colorful this is. It looks like Dr. Seuss or something, right? Like, hey, Mike, whoa, hey, what are you doing with that? Yo, Mike, put it down.
Starfield Space looked fantastic, nailing that bleak, ominous vibe. And the character graphics look pretty dang good. They got this whole LA noir thing going on where I can read their faces and feel their emotions. I'm loving it. And the character creation suite, oh baby, it's space-alicious. I apologize for that analogy. Remember in Fallout 4 how the RPG elements in the game were confined to what weapon build you used? Well, finally we can develop our own backstory for our character, from chef to diplomat to cyber runner, and the characters in the game interact with your choice, either making your life more difficult or siding with you easier, but the traits are the real juice. The juice! One of them gives you parents in-game that you can visit, having to send them 10% of all the money you make. Another one has a crazy fan randomly showing up and giving you gifts, but he's hella annoying. Another one, you can get a house that has a mortgage. But the craziest one that we've seen so far is Serpent's Embrace, and you have to keep jumping so your health doesn't lower and you get a boost when you continue jumping. Each trait has a flaw attached to it, with 3 traits that you're able to apply and the option to remove a trait in your playthrough with specific activities or quests. With your player character not having a voiceover, combined with all these zany customization options, I think they're the right elements for unique and fun roleplay. While I'm just usually a one playthrough kind of cat, I actually think I could do a few here for the first time. Seemingly the most concerning to everyone is that the cities feel alive and that the planets have some reason to explore them. While some people are like me and enjoyed going to Mass Effect's barren planets, others want a reason to explore, worried that Bethesda is favoring quantity over quality. My man How has said that Starfield will have full mod support, and while I'm theorizing here, do you feel that Bethesda would just save some time and make a few hundred or more planets empty and let the modders fill in the work? They have said that some planets will be barren and mainly used for resources. Now, I'm less concerned about the cities feeling alive. While people are worried that New Atlantis being confirmed as the largest city Bethesda's ever made will make it feel like Oblivion's Imperial City, stretched out and empty. As far as I can remember, Bethesda's immersion wasn't ever one of their weak points, save for a few pieces. The overall impressions I remember are Fallout 3's cities feeling alive because of the characters within the cities. It's not like any other open world where the NPCs are random faces. I know who the mayor is, the shopkeepers, the cops, detectives, the gangsters, the homeless people. This is what makes the city feel alive, not the size of it. And I trust Bethesda knows that. They've built these worlds successfully before and have likely learned from past mistakes.
You're a player and all that, but we want all the personal interactions with NPCs, other characters in the game to be as impactful as possible.
So I wager Starfield cities will most definitely feel alive. The cities have fantastic lore to them already.
The pleasure city of Neon. They wanted to catch fish until they discovered a fish with psychotropic properties. They could make way more money selling a drug than they could fish.
New Atlantis is the capital city of the United Colonies, the most powerful and established military and political faction in the game.
The city is a true melting pot, and its residents come from every race, creed, and ethnicity. In a lot of ways, New Atlantis is a true reflection of the future of our world. A variety of people, but they all have one thing in common. They believe in the sanctity of personal freedom and individuality.
Beyond the fun-looking character suite and backstories, the skill trees, the perks that level up the skills and the skill trees, the ship customization is for me? Take it away, Jim. The real juice.
It looks so damn intricate. I mean, what is all this stuff, man? With parts not limited to aesthetics, each part you add affects the ship in some way, how much cargo can hold, its top speed, and you gotta buy it all with credits, giving it that real Mandalorian feeling. I can't wait to get into this and build the most disgusting ship anyone has ever seen. You'll also notice the crew number there, and in Starfield, we get to go full Mass Effect, baby, adding our own crew members. And I just hope that they like leather jackets because it's not optional. I just hope that while I'm in space, I'll be able to get out of my seat and walk around my ship. Let go of my shoulders, Todd. Todd has said that you can dock on other ships and disable them. You can board them, steal them. There's smuggling.
Starfield's dogfighting will be slower paced, similar to the pace of Mech Warrior, which I'm all for. Star Wars Squadron's tempo? It got a little hectic after a while, and I think a slower tempo suits the vibe of it all. Speaking of his inspirations for this game, let's turn the clock back a bit.
Back to the past.
Todd Howard was born in a...
Whoa. That is way too far back.
Now this is why I've gotten excited for Starfield, and I know that it'll be a success. While he's mentioned 2 games that's inspired Starfield, the first of which being Sundog, and also a tabletop RPG called Traveler. But he's also mentioned in a 2010 podcast with Kotaku a game called Starflight. Released in 1986 with a revamped version released in 1991 for Sega Genesis, this old school sci-fi has intricate and complex systems for its ships, its crew members, resource mining, dialogue, economy. Remind you of anything? It's these things that have made those past games great and seems to be the skeleton and foundation of Starfield. It's these systems here that will make the game great. Going through an incredible story and beautiful world is fun, but the systems that are with you through it are actually the most important part of its eventual success. Having to manage the ship as if it was your own Fallout vault, how much cargo it can hold, mining and selling these resources, hiring your own crew, which if they are drawing from Starflight and another game they've mentioned in 2012 called FTL, hiring crew hopefully won't be like Fallout 4's companions and more like its settlers that I can develop my own unique relationship with, my own Star Trek crew. And they most definitely will be wearing my mandated leather jackets.
I'm a sort of James Bond figure.
Speaking of companions, my man Preston Garvey is back at it again with the settlements. But this time it's labeled as outposts. Some people didn't like how it operated in Fallout 4, but with the addition of building from the top-down bird's eye view, it seems to fix the chore of having to do it all on foot. And the snapping just looks better. It also just feels better than Fallout. While I'm a Fallout freak and I enjoyed building the settlements and designing them, after a while it kind of got to me. Maybe it was that the main narrative of that all was to help the people of the wasteland. Of course you got resources too, but there's something about working with these barren planets just feels better. I don't know what it is. It's just like...
Hype check. You're getting too damn hype. Hype check.
Okay, let's go over another controversial topic then. A lot of people are saying that the combat looked bad. Beyond the bad frame rate and jankiness of the trailer, the gunplay looked rigid and stiff. Of course, the other side of the coin is that Bethesda has never been known for its smooth combat, being the total opposite of Modern Warfare, and honestly, I kinda dig it. That's what I like about Bethesda's games, is it has its own unique thumbprint. Sure, a smoother experience is expected, but for so long I've known the feeling of fighting within their worlds. I don't really need it or want it to be Call of Duty good because it would lose that Bethesda touch. Their combat has its own unique universe completely, and I love it. Now they have added slides and there's jetpack combat, along with a nice looking combat skill tree, even if I do just plan to use my silver tongue to talk my way out of everything. Before we tackle how I feel this game will launch and its worst case scenarios, two final things I want to mention that look fantastic is one, the persuasion system. Instead of the past Fallout persuasion mechanics, they've gone back to their Oblivion days and made a mini-game out of it. However, making it sleeker and smoother, a sort of turn-based strategy with risk and plenty of choices.
Are we related?
It's like looking in a mirror. It's like looking in a mirror.
Lastly, the factions in this game feel better than Fallout 4's, with the Space Pirate Crimson Fleet, the United Colonies, the Cryptic Mercenaries, and with more religions such as the House of Rune, the Sanctum Universe, the Great Serpent, and the Enlightened. This, for me, is what made Fallout 4 feel small, and a big reason of what made Obsidian's Fallout New Vegas incredible. It seems like they've put work into developing true cultures behind these groups and having the lore easily accessible within the game, as certain factions run entire cities. One gripe of mine in Fallout 4 was that the joinable factions weren't directly involved in many major hubs. They all had separate locations. The Railroad, the Synth HQ, Brotherhood of Steel Zeppelin. With the factions actually being involved in these major city hubs, it'll give these cities that extra spice and, okay, one last time, some real juice.
The juice!
From this point forward, we have three dispositions for Starfield as gamers pre-launch. A, no expectations. Go into this game skeptical before it comes out. The whole don't judge a game before it's out, but that's not much fun. So I'm going with B, get hyped with hype checks. Or you can also go with C, no forgiveness, no rest for the wicked, and continue to shoot arrows in Bethesda's knees.
You can do better.
This means not using our imaginations during the marketing phase and looking at the material as we've done here without projecting, but having a little bit of faith. And for my friend Todd, I'll give him that faith. During Fallout 76's creation, he was supposed to be in charge of the game, but apparently spent most of his time working on Starfield and was seen seagulling when he would show up to just shit on an idea that the 76 team loved. I knew from the start that 76 and also No Man's Sky looked like human doggy doo-doo, as I've been burned by so many past developers like Peter Molyneux's incredible silver tongue marketing of Fable 2 and 3. But when Todd speaks about Starfield, he knows what he's talking about, what inspirations he's drawing from. This isn't a Sean Murray situation where you can just look at him and know he doesn't have a foundation for his game, just a sales pitch.
Will you be able to play with your friends?
Yeah.
Is there a competitive element to this game?
Yeah, if you want that, yes.
Can you grief other players?
A little bit.
Todd's been nerding out about Starfield, you frickin' nerd, for so long now. And with his past track record of hits, I'm willing to bet that this game will be Bethesda's prize pony, and you will find Starfield on Xbox boxes. But I did promise you worst case scenarios, and while this game will launch with bugs, there'll be Bethesda bugs, and their glitches are awesome. This isn't Cyberpunk's Red engine, which CDPR is abandoning come Orion. But Bethesda's using a new upgraded version of their past engines, Creation Engine 2, whereas version 1 created the games that we love. So there will be bugs, glitches on launch, but I don't think it'll be No Man's Sky smoke or Cyberpunk defective. The worst case scenario is that it could be bland, that its 1,000 planets aren't exciting enough to explore, that the story is too short, and the gameplay features and characters are limiting. But this is Bethesda we're talking about. The same people that made us Dovahkiin, the last Dragonborn, traveling to unlock dragon shouts. In Starfield, you are one of the last space explorers, traveling to unlock the secrets of the artifacts. With this formula, we'll be getting a classic Bethesda experience. The universe will be rich, the story interesting, the music phenomenal, and the characters memorable. Starfield's experience will be true to what we loved so much about some of the greatest video game experiences we've had to date.
Let's go, pal.
I was the kid. I was writing games when I was, 12, whatever. And the other kids in the block would say, I'm going to play quarterback for the Cowboys. And I'd be like, I'm going to make video games and everyone's going to play them.
I know I focused on Todd this whole video, but that's only because he gets the most flack. I know that there's a giant team of Bethesdians working on this game, and so our hearts go out to all of you. We're rooting for you, and we hope you knock this one out of the park and bring it back home and make an amazing game. Because it's been a while since we've had a hit, Todd, and we could really use another banger. So this one goes out to you. Play it, Jim.
Let's go to space, let's try to hit 30 frames. Let's put that purdy face on the Xbox case. Talking about Todd Howard, me and Todd Howard. Getting lit on the spaceship, let's get some alien bitches. They like my looks and they like Todd's riches, but they really like a leather jacket. Me and Todd Howard, psycho jet on 1,000 planets. I can't believe I bought an Xbox for this shit. So this is the last chance that you get. Please don't let it be like 76. They say it's all aliens.